All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive in something that might seem pretty simple at first glance. We're talking about African snacks.
Mhm.
We've got some really cool material here that shows how these snacks, like fried plantains, I think, you see those everywhere.
Yeah.
And then there's chin chin roasted groundnuts and roasted maize.
Right.
And they're really way more than just like a quick bite to eat.
Yeah.
Our mission is to try and understand like the cultural and social meaning behind them.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at a list of these snacks,
Yeah.
it's easy to just think about them as, food,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what's really fascinating is how these everyday thing, they give us like a glimpse into these different cultures and, social interactions across Africa.
Yeah.
It's about like seeing these deeper connections and like what they represent.
Okay, so let's start with fried plantains.
Okay.
The first thing that I noticed was like all the different names for them.
Yeah.
Dodo, Kelewele, Aloko.
Yeah.
It's like each name has like a whole story behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. And these different names, they often aren't just, about the language.
Yeah.
They can point to like regional differences in how they're prepared.
Oh, okay.
For example, the ripeness of the plantain, like how ripe it is, or the spices that are used, could be connected to a specific name.
Interesting.
And the fact that they're so often paired with, groundnuts or spicy sauces or beans really shows how incredibly versatile they are,
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
like depending on what's available and what people like in that area.
It's all about, working with what you got.
Exactly.
Okay, and then we have chin chin, which is that crunchy fried dough.
Mm.
It seems like a pretty popular snack.
Oh, yeah. It is. The material mentions that it's often enjoyed, either by itself or with some tea.
Nice.
And if you think about it, that's like a simple pleasure that fits into anyone's day,
Yeah.
whether you're just relaxing or hanging out with friends.
I-
And its simplicity just makes it super accessible to everyone.
Okay, so roasted groundnuts being like a popular street food.
Yeah.
I immediately picture like something you can just grab and eat on the go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting to note how often they're paired with other staples like plantains, bananas, or gari.
Yeah, I saw that.
It suggests that they aren't just, eaten on their own, but often as part of a light meal,
Yeah.
adding some flavor and protein to the mix.
Right.
It shows how these foods often like complement each other in, everyday meals.
Yeah, and roasted maize is another common street food, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's often paired with groundnuts or spicy sauces too.
Yeah, that combo pops up a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It suggests that there are some pretty common and probably easily available flavor profiles that people really enjoy.
Right.
And what's really fascinating to think about is how these simple pairings become such a big part of the local food culture.
Yeah.
They become like tradition almost.
Yeah, so if we take a step back, it's pretty clear that these aren't just random snacks that people happen to be eating.
No, not at all.
There's something bigger going